say yes. Yes. Oh, I'm in the right place, I'm in the right place. Before I go any further, first of all, I want to say thank you to UFG. Let me tell you something. I had a long travel to get here. It took me a long time. I left my house, I hopped in the car, it took me 30 minutes to get here. You know, I'm thankful because, I travel a lot. My wife and I just came off a 3-week trip. We were in Morocco, we were in Lisbon, we were all over the place, Las Vegas. We were on the road for 3 weeks straight. So it's a blessing that you can hop in your car, drive to West Palm Beach, and go back home within 30 minutes. So UFG, I want to say thank you. And you guys should thank them because they have brought you in the award-winning outstanding motivational speaker. And before I go any further, I have to introduce my boss. I've been married for 32 years. And I met this young lady, I was playing for the Dallas Mavericks. Yep. And I went to a party, she walked in and all I said was, yo. Let me tell you something, when you play professional sports, you see pretty, you see cute, you see gorgeous. But I saw white one time. When she walked in the room, all I said was, yo. And we met and got engaged within 4 months, and we married in about 11 months. She's my business partner. She's our #1 coach in our peak performance level. After people get to know me and get to know her, after a while, it's like, hey, Walter, where's Antoinette? She comes from an entrepreneurial family. My family are preachers and teachers. So when I speak, sometimes I'm teaching and sometimes I'm preaching, but I married a woman who came from an entrepreneurial family, and you put that together, it was magical. We built a global training and development platform. You guys are going to enjoy us today, but my wife is the architect and the genius behind it all. Stand up and take a bow, cutie pie. Let's go. She's built all of our curriculum. She's built all our training. It's really incredible what teamwork can really do. And again, I've been gifted by God to run my mouth. And what I learned on my way to the NBA, any NBA fans in the building, raise your hand, raise your hand. If you think about making it to the NBA, it is literally mathematically impossible to calculate the probability of making it to the NBA. The NBA is a global industry. There's little boys all over the world hoping and dreaming and praying to make it to the elite level, and there's only about 425 guys that play in the NBA every single year, and I did some research, in the history of the NBA, there's only been 5,000 men that play in the NBA. That's it. So to make it to the NBA is incredible, and what I realized, guys, is that God allowed me to make it to the NBA so I could do research on how to become elite. Literally, I learned how to become the best in the world at what you do. So I want you guys to pay attention. I want you guys to take incredible notes. Because after we left the basketball industry, we had no money coming in. The checking account was dwindling. Now raise your hand if you've ever been broke. Raise your hand if you've ever been broke. Man, being broke sucks. All right, bro? Some of you guys walked, I just broke Granny crazy. I'm broke right now. Maybe. But you know what? Raise your hand if you've ever been broke. Now let me teach you the difference. Broke and broke is different. Broke sounds like this. You live a day-to-day, check-to-check. You say to your friends, I don't have it, bro, but I get paid Friday. I got you Friday. That's broke. You live a day-to-day, check-to-check. Raise your hand, that's you. Wait a minute, bro. Come on. We're family. This is unlocking. Broke is just living day-to-day, check-to-check. Barely making paper. Just surviving, right? Broke is totally different. Broke sounds like this. I don't have it, bro, and I have no clue when I leave. So I've been broke, bro. My wife and I built a global training and development company, and it feels so good to have some money. Thank you. And so what I want to do really is just pour into you this morning and really teach you everything that I've learned on my journey to becoming not only an NBA ball player, but within 10 years, my wife and I built a business so fast, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame for motivational speakers. There's only 200 alive in the world. So you can actually make the argument that my achievement of becoming a Hall of Fame motivational speaker in 10 years is more incredible than making it to the NBA. But here's what I want to impress upon you. I didn't come here to brag about me. I just want to set a little bit of some credibility so you listen, so you take notes. The worst thing you can do is say, man, I heard Zig Ziglar and I've heard Tony Robbins and I'm going to come here and evaluate him to see if he's any good. You know what? You suck. I'm a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. I'm legit. Some of you guys say, wait, I followed the NBA. Wait a minute. I followed the NBA. Walter Bonner, never heard of him. Raise your hand, that's you. Raise your hand, that's you. Raise your hand. I'm talking about the superstar. Raise your hand. So, here's the truth. You never heard of me, but I've never heard of you either. And if I took you on a basketball court right now, 56 years old, I'll wear your butt out. The point is, when you make it to the NBA, and when you become a Hall of Fame motivational speaker, God has allowed me to become elite in two totally different, unrelated industries, and it's all been about research, so I can come out and pour into you. Does that make sense? So I want you to listen. I want you to take notes. I want you to learn today, because I promise you, I'm going to put some money in your pocket. So one more time to make sure I'm in the right room. If you're ready to take your game to the next level, raise your hand and say yes. Yes. There you go. Here's what I learned. To become a peak performer, to become elite, is all about unlocking the peak performance code. Successful people, millionaires, multimillionaires, they're not smarter than you. They just crack the code. They don't work harder than you. They just crack the code. Remember in high school, we got about 5 minutes between each class. And you ran back to your locker to grab your book, or your Snicker, or your Honey Bun. Right? Or your gym shoes. And when you went to your locker in high school, if you didn't get that combination just right, we got locker open. What was your combination? 32, 4, 16, remember that? You had to go 3 to the left, 2 to the right, and 1, and you... And sometimes you got your locker, pow! And it went, you know what? If you don't have the right combination with that locker open. But when you put it in the right locker, combination, what would happen to that locker? Open up every single time. I want you to understand that if you learn the code, but more importantly, if you learn how to crack the code, you can become elite in anything that you do. My wife and I are so confident that now we're helping companies crack the code. We're helping franchisees crack the code. Michael Jordan cracked the code. If you agree with me, raise your hand and say yes. Yes. Tom Brady cracked the code. If you agree with me, raise your hand and say yes. Yes. We live in the neighborhood with 6 billionaires. Okay? And I'm going to teach you why we live in this neighborhood. Because part of the code is why we chose this neighborhood to live in. Everything that my wife and I do, it's all about cracking the code. Every decision we make, it all revolves around the code, and today I'm going to teach you the code. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now, here's what we're going to talk about. What makes a peak performer? Talk back to me. If you think about some of your favorite people, whether it's music, whether it's country music, whether it's hip-hop, whether it's business, whether it's sports, what makes a peak performer in your opinion? What makes somebody pop out the crowd and become elite? Because right now, we need some franchisees to bust through the pack and become elite. Praise. We need you right now to bust through the pack and become elite. Every class has 8 students. We need some of you guys to get focused and intentional on breaking through the pack and becoming superstars in the brand, so this brand, both brands, can continue to grow and earn market share. Does that make sense? So this franchise group needs you guys to become straight A students. And here's the funny thing, raise your hand if you got kids. Raise your hand if you got kids. You tell your kids to go to school and get good grades and learn right and wrong. Now I'll tell you a funny story. I flunked out my first high school, now I'm a thought leader. Where you are right now is just a point of reference. Yes, I flunked out my first high school. But now, I'm a thought leader. Your job is to reach your potential. That's your job. When I flunked out of my high school, my mother said these words to me. I was embarrassed, I let the family down. She said, baby, if the teacher gives out A's, you know you can get one. Now, I was a straight A student in baseball, basketball, and football. I was one of the best athletes in the country in 3 different sports. But my parents were teachers. My dad was a high school principal. My mother was a teacher. So report card day was a big day in my house. And here I am, the son of educators. And I flunked out my first high school. And that statement was transformational for me. Baby, if the teacher gives out A's, you know you can give money. Grace Crazy is going to give out some A's. Great Greek is going to give out some A's. And just like you tell your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to go and pursue and be excellent, I expect you to lead the charge. I expect you to set the standard. I expect your kids to look at you and say, way to go, Mama, you got an A in Grace Crazy. Way to go, Dad, you got an A in Great Greek. Because if you don't, you're a hypocrite. I've been called a lot of things in life. And you might think one word is the one that offends me the most. It does not. The N word does not offend me. But if you call me the H word, it'll break me down. If you call me a hypocrite, that's the one that will devastate me. Because I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. So what makes a peak performer? What makes someone break out the pattern? Why do some kids in school get straight A's and some kids flunked out? Why do some franchisees thrive and some don't? Why do some athletes get drafted in the first round and go on to be superstars and some are flop? Why? Write this down. If you want to be elite, it's a combination of mindset and skill set. If you want to become elite, it's a combination of mindset and skill set. If you want to become the best in the world at what you do, it's a combination of mindset and skill set. The greatest athletes in the world have a great mindset and a great skill set. Businessmen is hearing clearly, if anyone under your leadership is struggling and underperforming, there's 2 things that you got to work on. It's either their mindset or it's their skill set. In fact, I don't even think you should call yourself a business leader. You should call yourself a coach. My biggest disappointment when I left sports and got into the real world, I saw my leaders as coaches. They recruited me, they developed me, and they retained me. When I left sports and got into the business world, I didn't see many coaches. I saw a lot of bosses, but I didn't see any coaches. Matter of fact, if you ever had an idiot for a boss, raise your hand. Now, when you had an idiot for a boss, wasn't it painful? Remember, you would wake up in the morning and say, oh God, oh Lord, I gotta go deal with this crazy person. Let me get out of bed before I'm late, because I do not want to hear her. I do not want to hear her enough. Raise your hand if you're someone's boss right now. You know, there's a chance that you're someone's idiot right now. Companies with the coaching culture are 21% more productive. Companies with the coaching culture are 21% more productive. Companies with the coaching culture are 21% more productive. You got to stop calling yourself a leader, and you got to start looking like a coach. A coach walks around with the whistle, and it does not walk around with the machete. A coach walks around with the whistle. They do not walk around with the machete. A coach has a fireman's mentality and not the mentality of a cop. A fireman shows up to help. A cop shows up to arrest. So in your culture, are you building firemen or are you building cops? Are you encouraging and teaching? Or are you that browbeating leader? What happens? You go home talking about them, and they go home talking about you. You go home saying, my people don't get it, and they go home saying, my boss is a freaking idiot. My daughter was young. She called one of her teachers an idiot. I think her name, the word is idiot. And it was hilarious. You're calling your teacher an idiot and you can't pronounce the word. We're doing some of that in. Right? But my first lesson for you is really, really powerful. You got to start thinking like a coach, because I'm telling you, if you become the coach, and you can help everyone with their mindset, if you can help everyone develop their skill set, that's when you can become Phil Jackson. Does that make sense? That's when you become Bill Belichick. Does that make sense? I'm a sports guy. I came from the sports world. That's how I began to learn how the business world operates. Let me remind you that Michael Jordan, as a rookie, was seen as selfish, self-centered, a showboat, and the veteran said he will never win a championship. He'll lead the league in scoring. He'll win dunk contests, but that young man will never win a championship. And a young coach named Phil Jackson said, "Give him to me." Bill Belichick needed a Super Bowl quarterback to win a championship. He dipped him to the 6th round. Drafted a goofy kid named Tom Brady, who did not even start on his college football team. And Bill Belichick basically said, "Give him to me. I'm going to go and make the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm going to go and develop Michael Jordan into the greatest basketball player of all time." Smart companies are training and development organizations at their core. Smart companies are training and development organizations at their core. Smart companies are training and development organizations at their core, and here's why. Every high school in America, the largest demographic is the C student. We have programs for A honor roll, National Honor Society, student government. They kept us A student busy, am I right or wrong? I remember in school they would come grab all the smart kids and take them somewhere else. I'm like, where are they going? Why don't they choose me? We always had the smart kids occupied, am I right or wrong? We had programs for the knuckleheads, right? What were they called? Detention? I'm from Chicago, truancy officer, parole officer, suspension. So we have programs for the A students. We have programs for the knuckleheads. But the largest demographic of every high school in America is a C student. Every high school in America, about 60% of their school is C students. And a C student can go either way. Do some great coaching, they can become loyal and very successful. Without good coaching, a C student tends to fade away. They can gravitate and try to hang with the knuckleheads. Does that make sense? Why do I know that? Because I'm a C student. My father was a high school principal in the hood. When I flunked out my first high school, he looked at my mama and said, "Give it to me. Give it to me. I don't need more out of my son. My son needs more out of me. Give him to me." So now my father becomes my high school principal. And every day on the way to school, he worked on my mindset. Every day on the way to school, he worked on my mindset. You're just as smart as your brother and sister. Your value system is screwed up. This family produces student athletes. You are just as smart as your brother and sister. Your value system is screwed up. This family produces student athletes. You are just as smart as your brother and sister. When he first said that, I didn't believe him. I'm a good athlete and think, Dad, let them be good students. No, all my kids are great. It took him 2 years to convince me. It took him 2 years to work on my mindset. It took him 2 years to change my thought life, my thought process. The average person has 70,000 thoughts a day and 70% are negative. The average human being has 70,000 thoughts a day and 70% are negative. Coaches, anytime you meet someone, they are literally in a war and your job is to help them win their battle. I was convinced that my brother and sister were smarter than me. But thank God I had a high school principal who knew how to develop mindset. And for 2 years, he convinced me that I'm just as smart as my brother and sister. Can I ask you a question? Think about these employees that you might have on your team that you're frustrated by. Have you spent any time helping them with their mindset? Have you spent any time helping them with their skill set? every year, 60% of high schools are putting out C students. And you're looking for great employees, but I'm really trying to tell you, a great coach can go make one. Does that make sense to you? So in my father's presence was a future thought leader. In my father's presence was a best-selling author. My high school principal saw a C student and he poured into him. Man, that was with Hamburger University. You know why? Because Ray Kroc said, if I'm going to win, I'm going to win big, and I'm going to win big with people. So I'm going to create Hamburger University for the managers. Once you become a manager, I'm going to help you with your mindset. I'm going to help you with the skill set. And the most powerful franchise in the world is because of Hamburger University. Let me show you about a brand that we recently helped sell for $8 billion. Is it Mike? I came over to the conference. I said, let's go kick Subway's butt in front of 3,000 franchisees. I sat down with the founder and said, well, let's turn your brand into a training and development company, masquerading as a sub shop. There's C students everywhere. How do I know? Because I'm a recovering C student. And we can help these kids with their mindset. And we can help them develop their skill set. They're going to be committed. They're going to be loyal. You talk about my high school principal, I'll fight you. When I left school and got into the business world, my wife became my first coach. Does that make sense? I need you to understand that lantern around your neck, imagine it as a whistle. Poor niggas walk around with the machete. He's an idiot, she's an idiot, these young people, he's an idiot, she's an idiot, these young people just don't, these young people. Every generation says the same thing. These young people, these young people, these young people. Your mom and daddy said that about you. Am I telling you the truth? My dad said, boy, when I was your age, I had to wake up, milk the cow, and cut wood, and walk to school 5 miles. I'm like, Dad, you grew up in the country. I'm a Chicago kid. Go buy me a cow. I'll milk it. Right? Kids grow up in different generations, so we're not supposed to relate. Does that make sense? Same kids. But you have to become a leader that understands, I don't need more out of my kids need more out of me. That's how coaches think, that's what they believe. And let me tell you something, it's your job to get your mindset right. It's your job to develop your skill set as a leader, and then you go out and multiply yourself and who you are by pouring into other people. If you ever want to meet my daddy, all you got to do is get to know me. If I get to know your employees, it should be just like getting to know you. Ray Kroc started this trend in 1954. And the great brands are training and development organizations, masquerading at their core. Nick Saban ran a training and development organization. He just happened to call it Alabama football. Phil Jackson ran a training and development organization. They just happened to call it the championship Chicago Bulls. I played for the Utah Jazz and Jerry Sloan. The 4th all-time winningest coach in the history of the NBA, only had 1 lottery pick his whole entire time. Karl Malone was not a lottery pick. John Stockton was not a lottery pick. These are the greatest point guards and power forwards of all time. I was a witness. I was there. Every single day in practice, we did habits and rituals. Every single day in practice, we worked on the fundamentals. Every single day we immersed in habits and rituals, and that's how we all became the best version of ourselves. Are you running a training and development organization? If not, what are you really running? A bad NFL team, a bad NBA team, you know what they're hoping for? To recruit some superstar to rescue them. Great teams that have systems are looking for very specific pieces to fit into their puzzle. Before you can teach someone the peak performance code, I got to teach you the code. If you're ready, raise your hand and say yes. Yeah. The first combination of being a peak performer, you must have the right mindset. I'm not going to go into this too deep because I'm going to come back to it later as I close. You must have the winning mindset. Some people's mind is like thriving. Some people's mindset is set on thriving. Whenever you meet a human being, it's almost obvious regardless where their mindset is set. Is it set on thriving or surviving? As a franchisee right now, let's be honest. Is your mindset on thriving? Or is your mindset set on surviving? I'm going to give you an analogy you'll never forget. If I go to your house right now, your heat is set on some thermostat number. Am I right? You come into my crib, it's on 75. Don't judge me. That's my house. I pay the bills. My wife and I have decided together, 75 degrees is how we roll. If you don't like it, stay at your house. But if you come to my house, I promise you it's going to be on 75. And if it's ever off, my wife don't look my way, someone touch the thermostat or something wrong with the key. Because we got to set on 75, does that make sense? Raise your hand, your house is set on 68 right now. Raise it. I will never spend a night at your house. I'll be in your house freezing, man. Raise your house, your house is set on 72. Raise your hand. Okay? Raise your house, and your house is set on 75. Raise your hand. See, I ain't crazy. Here's the funny thing about it. Your heating and cooling system will regulate itself based on where you set the thermostat, am I right? Your mindset is the same exact way. Your whole life will be regulated on where you set your own mindset. So if you set your mindset, oh, I just got to make payroll. Oh, I just got to make payroll. This one location is wearing me out. Oh my God, this one location is like I'm a kid. I don't want to go in. Why would you go in? I went in yesterday. You and the husband wife are fighting on who's going to go in because you're worn out and you're tired. You know why? Because your mindset is set on surviving and it's not set on thriving. If you're thriving, man, we need more than one location. We need at least 10. Come on. How does some people run 100 locations and you over here with your hands tied with one? You know what? It's your mindset. You're stuck on surviving instead of turning the lights to thriving, and you are complete control of your own mindset. Does that make sense? We work with some small brands, we work with large brands, we work with growing brands, and I've noticed the franchisees who are thinking about thriving, thrive. The franchisees who are stuck on surviving, just survive. Or worse. And your mindset is just like your thermostat. So I can ask you a real personal question. Where's your mindset right now? Is it stuck on surviving as a franchisee? Or is your mindset focused on thriving as a franchisee? No one can control your mindset but you, does that make sense? Now, humbly, when I was in high school, my mindset was set on just surviving. If I get good grades and I'm eligible, I'm good. I don't care about my A in physics. Man, give me a C, I'm good. But what would happen? I almost always got a C. And sometimes I've got a little short of a C. So when my mother said that to me, she said, baby, if the teacher gives out A's, you know you can get one. You know that was revolutionary for me. You guys know why? Because I honestly never even strived to get an A in school. That's a good point, Mom. That's kind of deep. And I strove for the A in baseball. I batted over 500 in high school. I strove for an A in football. I would come back to the huddle and tell my quarterback, look, if I touch it, I'll catch it. I'm 6'5", 220, dude. I'm open. If I touch it, I will catch it. Basketball, when I was 12 years old, Church yelled out, he's too old. Check his birth certificate. That kid is not 12. I come from a very athletic family. I'm the youngest. My uncle played Major League Baseball. My dad had NBA tryouts. My big sister won 2 national championships playing college basketball. She played with a girl named Cheryl Miller at USC. And I'm the baby. So my whole mindset about playing sports, my only dilemma was which one? It's going to be Major League Baseball. Am I going to be a tight end? Am I going to be a two guard? Oh my God. It just consumed my whole day. But my mindset was set on being a pro. Does that make sense? I wasn't even thinking about school. I just wanted to survive in school so I could go to sports and thrive. Does that make sense? So let's say that I'm saying it only. Because if your mind is stuck on surviving, only you can change the thermostat. Does that make sense? And I'm telling you, your mindset is going to impact the culture of your organization. And great organizations win and lose based on how strong their culture is. Here's the next combination. Accountability. You cannot be a peak performer without the right mindset. Trust me, you cannot be a peak performer without being accountable. Accountability is the ability to be accountable. So watch this. Some people have more ability than others. You got to know anybody that blames everything on somebody else right now. I mean, no matter what, it's never they talk right now. I mean, some folks, you can catch a red-handed. You're going to look, I'll make this easy for you. Just something. I mean, just be wrong sometimes. Just every now and then, just say my fault, my bad. Matter of fact, just say maybe it was your fault. I'll take that. Let me tell you something, man. It's impossible to be a peak performer if you don't have high levels of accountability. And accountability really is the ability to be accountable. So if you want to build accountability into your culture, you got to go first. You want your teammates to be accountable, but you're not. I heard a college football coach the other night talking on camera. Said, you know, I prepared my team to go play. Now it's up to them. Like, what? Wait a minute, this sounds awful. You prepared your team to play. And now on game day, it's up to them. Well, you don't have impact on game day too. No, we win or we lose together. None of that, I got my employees ready to play, and it doesn't work out as their fault. No. If you want to build accountability into your organization, you go first. And it's hard to be accountable. It is not natural. And I'm going to refer to the Bible. I told you it sounds like I'm preaching sometimes. When Adam sinned against God, God said, Adam, where are you? God knew where Adam was. He wanted Adam to locate himself. That's all accountability does. It allows you to locate you and where you are. Adam, did you eat from that tree I told you not to eat from? What did Adam say? Well, it's that woman you sent to me. What a little punk. Adam blames his woman and God in one sentence. Isn't it incredible? Instinctively, with no peer pressure, nobody else was around but him and Eve. And instinctively, Adam lacked accountability. Hey, it's that woman you sent to me, so it's her fault and your fault, not my fault. Come on. So accountability does not come easy. You guys agree with me? So we have to learn how to become accountable. But most importantly, you got to teach people how to become accountable. I'm very thankful that I had a father who would admit mistakes. He would say, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I lost my temper. I'm sorry. That was my bad. It gave the rest of the family freedom to say, you know what, I'm trying to do that. My fault. My bad. He was first. That was it. So business leaders, if you want to be a peak performer, I need you to have a greater ability to be accountable. And here's the truth. One day I played big time with my wife. I said, woman, the Bible says I'm the head of this house. You're supposed to submit to me. She says, okay, well, you're the head of this house. Everything that happens in this house is your fault. Well, let's keep talking about this. I want this one. If you want to be a peak performer, you have to be able to look in that mirror and say, you know what, operations, that's not. Sales, you know what, that's not. Customer service, that's not. Onboarding, that's my fault. Revenue, that's my fault. The industry I come from, if the team loses, they fire the coach. Got real quiet here. And see, the real world's not like that. The coach can be the idiot, he just keeps firing people. Like, you're the common denominator, dude. Right? The industry I came from, it was all up to the coach to make sure his team executed. Right? You have the same dynamic. If it's to be, it's up to me. Say that out loud. If it's to be, it's up to me. That was so quiet and weak. I don't know. Some of y'all whisper, yeah. This the decisive. Say it boldly. This the decisive me. 1, 2, 3. If we're going to be successful, it's my fault. If we're going to fail, it's my fault. One thing I like about sports, Michael Jordan knew, man, we're going to win the championship. Why? Because I'm on the team. Think about that. Michael Jordan knew we're going to win the championship. Why? Because I'm on the team. Tom Brady knew, man, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Why, Tom Brady? What makes you go so confident? Because I'm on the team. When he left the New England Patriots and went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, instantly the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a Super Bowl contender. And the only thing that happened is Tom Brady left New England and went to Tampa Bay and joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the whole NFL said that is a Super Bowl contender simply because Tom Brady is on the team. In sports, we recognize the impact players on the right. And we know the difference. That's got to be your goal. Say, great, we're going to win. Why? Because I'm on the team. Great, where you at? Raise your hand and say, yo, great, come on. Say it out loud. We going to win. We going to win. Because I'm on the team. That's simple as that. We going to win because I'm on the team. When my wife and I had no money coming in, I studied motivational speakers. I said, baby, we're going to make more money in business than we did in sport. We had no money coming in. We were going broke, y'all. That's it. We going to win, man. She like a good woman said, how? These are details. I said, baby, I studied all these motivational speakers. They all have the same quality. They're very entertaining and dynamic, and they give their audience great information. They're very entertaining and dynamic, they give their audience great information. If I can become very entertaining and dynamic and give my audience great information, I bet you I could be a Hall of Fame motivational speaker too. And we're going to win. Because I'm on the team. My wife said, well, I like your confidence. Let me tell you something. We're going to win. Because I'm on the team. And together, with that mindset, we built a global training and development company. It's helping organizations become peak performers. Leaders, I need to get your mindset back first. Leaders, I need you to become accountable first. Leaders, I need you to get disciplined. Think about discipline. It's all about being a disciple of something. I just lost 60 pounds. People say, how'd you do it? I got discipline. Well, what did you do? Jenny created Weight Watchers. They all work. They all work. I'm talking to Sam over here because they're going to sleep with me. Whenever your friend loses a bunch of weight, you don't need to ask them what they did. They all work. What they did right, they were disciples of whatever they chose to follow. And here's the problem. When you lose 30 pounds and gain 50 back, what happened? It's a simple equation, right or wrong. You stop being a disciple of the system that you were operating in, and as a result, you gain 50 back. So being successful is about being disciplined. So I'm going to ask you a question. What is your methodology for marketing? What is your methodology for sales? Grace, craze, hear me clearly. To me, you're running a sales and marketing organization. If you want to kill the game, grace, craze, it's about sales and marketing. And I wouldn't worry about making a charcuterie board. Did I say that right up in practice? It's not about the charcuterie board. Write this down, grace, craze. Only do that which only you can do. Only do that which only you can do. You can train somebody how to lay the cheese just right. You can train somebody how to line up the crackers just right. But you need to go to the Chamber of Commerce. You need to be networking. You need to be meeting local pastors. You need to be meeting local meeting planners. It's you. You should be the face of the brand. You can train, coach a whole lot of people to make a charcuterie board. Come on. Let's be smart about this. Because if not, you can be in the back, you just bought a job. We need more cheese. Hey, where's the pursuit tower? You didn't buy a job, did you? You bought a business. If you going back there doing all the manual labor because you're too cheap to hire employees, you have basically crippled yourself. I've seen so many franchisees buy a job, get miserable, get angry, get bitter, and then get mad at the corporate office. No, that's not their fault, that's your fault. I'm gonna say that one more time. Here's what franchisees do. And my wife and I have worked with 100 brands. Oh, we're rolling as a franchisee is because I'm brilliant. Oh, I'm so brilliant. Oh, I'm so brilliant. You see, I'm corporate. You know, I work for IBM. And I want you to have a business plan. That's why we're franchisee of the year. Because of me. If we're struggling, no, it's not my fault. Corporate doesn't market. No, man, they don't market, man. No. Corporate doesn't market. They got to market better, man. It's not my fault, man. You see what I'm getting at? I've been doing this 25 years. My wife and I formed a franchisees in the brand. We did the same thing. We would go to the national conference and we would gravitate to the other struggling franchisees. Hey, man, corporate sucks, don't they? Yeah. Supporters do it, man. They always try to sell us something, man. They need to market better. What are we getting for our royalties, man? And to the expense of 7%, what are they doing with 7%? All the losers hung out together. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ballroom, all the winners who had their mindset on thriving. I'm opening up a new system. We took like 3 in construction, 3 in government. That was a conversation. You know, I'm gonna buy a couple of struggling, those dummies over there. Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. I'm a Chicago kid. Who you rolling with can keep you alive and can get you killed. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. You know what that really means? I'm going to take my virtue and I'm going to rub against your virtue, and together we're going to help each other become better. Because I believe in sales, you believe in marketing, but if we get your chocolate and my peanut butter, if I get my chocolate and your peanut butter, maybe I can become better at marketing, you can become better at selling, and together we make the brand stronger. As an NBA ball player, that's all we're talking about, man. You got a chef? Oh wow, you got a chef. Okay, what kind of workout you do? You're doing Pilates. Oh wow. What is it good for you, man? Strength is muscle. You've never heard of it. I'm trying to Pilates. Can I get you guys know? There's no secret that LeBron James is still playing at a high level of 40. I wasn't drug tested. I really do. But he's doing a whole lot of things right, would you agree? I'm telling you, I remember John Stockton went to a chiropractor 4 times a day on game day. I was with him. Yeah, 4 times a day on game day. John Stockton didn't retire because he lost a step. He retired because they wouldn't let him wear those Daisy Duke shorts anymore. If you're from Utah, I'm so sorry. John Stockton went to a chiropractor 4 times a day on game day. His chiropractor, Craig Bueller, he made him famous. He made him rich. John Stockton believed in that chiropractor. Me, the chiropractor would be in the locker room. Craig would say, Walter, let me adjust you. It's free. Stockton's already paid. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. John Stockton was giving me keys to the kingdom. He was giving me access to resources. It was going to be a free adjustment because his chiropractor would adjust him and he'd be in a locker room board. He said, Walter, let me adjust you. Why God is free. And me, my immature mind, my C student came back and bit me in the butt. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I played 3 years in the NBA. Stockton played 19. The truth was, I was good. I was an NBA ball player. But John Stockton was a student. John Stockton was Hall of Fame. John Stockton gave me access to his resources. And my ego and my pride. My mindset. come on, lift the weights every single day. Every day. And young fellas can live. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But one day, Jerry Sloan tapped me on the shoulder. He said, Walter, can I talk to you for a while? Yeah, coach. Yeah, I love Jerry Sloan. Hey, coach. Hey, check with the trainer. He has your plane ticket. We're going in a different direction. That's the whole conversation. Check with the trainer. He has your plane ticket. We're going in a different direction. I remember word for word exactly what he said. My NBA career was over that fast. Walter, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, coach. Check with the trainer. He has your plane ticket. We're going in a different direction. I'm trying to win an NBA championship, and I don't have room for 6 students. He didn't say all that, but I translated for you. If I could go back in time, I would have got on the camera that day. If I could go back in time, I would have lifted weights with Carl. These were the A students. And they were showing me the keys to the kingdom. Why am I bringing that up? Because some of you guys in this room are just like those high school kids, you're average. Don't look at me like that, I'm just telling you the truth. Some of you guys are average franchisees. It's only because you set your minds on being average. When I got cut by you talking ass, I went home and cried like a baby, and my wife held me in her arms because that little boy died in there. You know how painful that was. It was over. I fought my whole life to get there. And some of you who know my story know I didn't even start on my college basketball team. I came off the bench. I still made it to the NBA. So part of our peak performance mission is to help you become it. But make sure you stay. Sometimes in life you learn what to do and what not to do. My life is an open book. I'm totally honest. I did a whole lot of things right to make it to the NBA, and I did a whole lot of things wrong. And as C student, if I'm not careful, we'll come back. I cried in my wife's arms and said, baby, we're going to be a motivational speaking business. And I promise you, I'm going to be great. I'm tired of being average. I'm tired of being a system. I'm going to be great at something. And that's when we begin to realize the code. You got to have a winning mindset to be elite. You got to be accountable to be elite. Jerry Sloan should have cut me. It was hurtful, it was painful, but when I look back on it, I wasn't doing enough to get better. He should have cut me, because the NBA is the best basketball players in the world, and I was comfortable, and it's the biggest mistake that I made in my life. And I'm telling you, I can teach you how to become a peak performer, but I'm going to teach you how to stay a peak performer. So you have to have the right mindset. You must be accountable. You got to be disciplined. I shot 500 shots a day, every single day, and they got me to the NBA. So when I got in business, I called 25 people a day, every single day, and asked them about it. If you want to be successful, Grace Crazy, you must become a sales organization. If you do the math, 25 times 5 times 5 is what? What is, you guys really need to get hooked on finance, man. What? 25 times 5 is what? 125 times 4 is what? 500 times 12 is what? 6,000. I mean, how the discipline. I called 25 people a day, asking them about it. In a year, I called 6,000 people and asked them about it. In 3 years, I called 18,000 people and asked them about it. Basketball taught me the importance of being committed to habits and rituals. In 36 months, we created such a groundswell that our phone started ringing off the hook, our funnel was full, we started closing deals, and people came up to me and said, man, what's your secret? We've never seen a motivational speaker grow so fast. And I thought to myself, I don't have a secret. What do you mean secret? I learned by playing basketball. 500 shots today got into the NBA. Every single day, no matter what. If I go back, I would shot 1,500 shots today. Steph Curry might be shooting like 2,000 shots today. But I learned habits and rituals. Done consistently. I'm going to get you some serious results. People who lose a lot of weight, they're very disciplined with their habits and rituals. People who fluctuate with their weight are very undisciplined. I just saw a special on Luther Vandross. That man can sing. Big Luther can sing. Skinny Luther can sing. When he died, they should have donated his throat to science. But he talked about, man, I just love food. I just dream about food. I fantasize about food. I don't understand that. Food is on my mind all day. So if you love food that much, you're going to gain weight. Does that make sense? So to me, you should not live to eat, you should eat to live. Does that make sense to anybody? Luther Vandross died at 54 years old because he was undisciplined. Incredible talent. We lost because of the lack of discipline. Here's another big performance code. You must maximize opportunities. And you take the full advantage of every opportunity you get. Be clear. Great Greek. When anybody comes into your restaurant, that's an opportunity to get a fan. Anytime someone walks into Great Greek, that's an opportunity to get a lifelong fan. Anytime it walks in your door, that's your time, baby. You just can't look at them as another customer. It's a great opportunity. So peak performers take full advantage of every opportunity. I remember when Tom Brady got his first chance to play. You guys remember that? A guy named Drew Bledsoe got hurt. You guys remember that? Tom Brady was on the sideline, had his habits and rituals. He's watching game film. He was ready, and Drew Bledsoe got hurt, and all of a sudden, the GOAT checked into the game and never looked back. He was ready for his opportunity, and he took full advantage of his opportunity. Great Greek, you have a great opportunity in front of you. Are you going to take full advantage of it? Grace craze. Jesus gave me an opportunity. That's all he gave you is an opportunity. Are you going to take full advantage of every opportunity? I hosted a show on the Food Network. In one of our episodes, a company named Jersey Mike's came on a TV show. Now, how can I host a show on the Food Network? We'll talk about that later in my sales training. We are a sales trainer because I don't believe in transactions, I believe in relationships. I just did a program for UFG a month ago. I'm mad because I just believe in relationships. The biggest mistake you can make is have a transactional mentality. That goes for you, Grace Craze, and so Great Greek. You don't have a transactional personality. The greatest salesmen on this earth don't think transactional. They think relationship. Every time someone comes into your restaurant, that's a chance to build a great relationship. How you doing today? Where's Bob? Where's Bob? You talking about being friendly. Where's Bob? Where's Bob? Bob in the ballroom? He's playing, look, here you go in the back. Let me tell you something. Here's what I would do. I would only hire likable people. Those are service industry suits. If you go to Chick-fil-A, those are all likable people. You guys know that? If you go to Jersey Mike's Subs, they only hire likable people. Those are the talented people you're looking for. You can train them to do whatever you need to do. It's hard to teach someone to be likable, am I right? Some people brighten up a room when they enter, some people brighten up a room when they leave. If I were you, I would be training 24/7, and I would be recruiting likable people. That's what I would do. I would train 24/7, and I would recruit likable people, because likable people come with a certain mindset, am I right or wrong? So I'm telling you, it's up to you to build a great organization, and you must teach all your people to maximize every opportunity a customer comes in a Grace Craze, every charcuterie board you send out, anytime someone comes in, just get the french fry. Who cares? Those should be the freshest, hottest french fries on earth. Nothing I hate more than some cold french fries. Cold french fries suck. So if I come to your store the first time, and all I want is some french fries, You give me some lukewarm French fries. You give me some mediocre French fries. I believe Gregory could say, how was Gregory tonight? Mediocre. Fries ain't special. Oh, really? Because when I went, they were great. Now we're inconsistent. Let me tell you something. If only 5% of your customers have a bad experience, that's a lot of money over time, you guys agree? Everyone who comes in Gregory can actually live in Greece. Simple ingredients, great taste. Simple ingredients, great taste. And the Greek culture are very joyful and very festive. So to me, if you're gonna really be great Greek, you should have great food, simple ingredients, and when I come to your store, it should feel like a party. I remember going to Greek tavernas when I lived in Greece, in the Greek culture, they danced on tables, they broke plates, and sometimes the women got a little carried away and took out too many clothes. I'm not advocating that, Greek. Although it wouldn't move sales, it also gets you arrested. But to me, your job as a franchisee is to maximize opportunities. And that's what people formers do. Michael Jordan maximized opportunity. Tom Brady maximized opportunity. I know franchisees who own 100 locations. Why? Because they got a mindset to thrive. They're literally business people who understand how to become a people former in business. So the worst thing you can do is go to a Super Bowl or to a Major League Baseball game and not learn the true lesson. Pro athletes have an off season, why not you? Pro athletes have an off season, why not you? I wish I had more time. I'm running out of time. Pro athletes have an off season, why not you? Let me give you a little bit of a tip I learned on my way to the NBA. I took advantage of my off season. In my off season, I could sit down and say, I can work on my living. I can lose about 10 pounds. I gotta get more in better shape. And every year, even though I didn't start in college, I was going to most improved player. Why? Because I attacked my off season. In sports, you get 5 months off. But in franchising, you get 2 days in West Palm Beach. Is that fair? Your job is to already know what you need to work on to get bigger, stronger, and faster. You expect your favorite college football team to get better, am I right or wrong? You expect your favorite NFL team to get better, am I right or wrong? But shouldn't you expect yourself to get better? Man, we can just draft the right guy, man. We need a wide receiver who can stretch the field. You have tailgates at your house, hoping your team draft the right player. You sitting there with a business that's mediocre because you're not implementing things you know to be a people form. You must maximize opportunities and you must build a winning team. Success is a team sport. Please write that down. Success is a team sport. In order for you to build a great team, you must understand that your teammates don't compete with you, they complete you. My wife and I are business partners. She has totally different responsibilities than me. Her job is to be excellent at her job and her roles. My job is to be excellent at my job and my role. Her job is to run an incredible office and run a coaching program. My job is to give my audience great information and for me to be entertaining and dynamic. That's my job. We've been doing this 25 years and a simple formula has worked for 25 years. And I'm telling you, success is simple, but you gotta build a winning team, coach. So can you do me a favor? Drop your machete and pick up a whistle. Another part of the people performance code is to network successfully. Iron sharpens iron. I touched that a little bit earlier. You must network successfully. Any blessing you get from God is going to pass to another human being's hands. You're not going to get nothing to fall out the sky in your lap. All your opportunities, all your blessings is going to happen through relationships. How did you meet your wife? Relationship. How did you meet your husband? Relationship. I ain't talking about the first and the second one. I met my wife because all my boys went to Howard. I'm visiting my boys at Howard University, and that's when I saw her. Your whole life is based on networking successfully. I got the TV show on the Food Network because I network successfully. We've been able to get and acquire clients because we network successfully. Especially Grace Craze. And I'm serious. You can train people on how to make a charcuterie board. But you need to be the face of the brand. You need to be in the community. You need to be making sales calls. You need to be networking. You need to be meeting planners. You need to meet pastors and pastor wives. You need to be the face of the brand in that community because you can only do that. Does that make sense? And if you have that kind of mentality to do sales and marketing, you are well positioned to grow a very successful brand because the rest of the job is really managing other efforts. Here's my last one that we're done. You guys had a good time today? I really committed. I said, what are you committed to? For real. And I've learned in my life that everybody's committed to something different. When I was younger, I was committed to being a great athlete. I was committed to playing pro sports. I just didn't know what sport, and it consumed my day. When I got back home, people said, man, you should play baseball. My high school football coach, man, you should have played football. I'm like, man, I had to choose, bro. Just be happy. I played 8 years of pro basketball. It was a tough choice, but I had to decide. I was committed to being a pro athlete. But I was not committed to being a Christian. I was committed to being a C student. I was committed to being average. And here's what I learned in life. You're going to get what you're committed to. You're going to get exactly what you're committed to. If you're committed to surviving, that's all you're going to get. If you're committed to thriving, that's all you're going to get. When I got cut by the Utah Jazz, I looked my wife in the eyes after I cried. And I cried like a baby. I said, man, I'm going to be great at something. Let's practice motivational speaking business. And I believe we can make more money in business than we did in sports. And I'm telling you, I stumbled into my purpose. So honestly, I made it to the NBA for you. When I think of it. And I know it was painful. I got cut for you. Because now I'm equipped to teach you how to become a leader. But more importantly, I'm equipped to teach you how to stay. All of our coaching programs are designed to work on your mindset and also to work on your skill set. And whatever you want out of life, whatever you're committed to, trust me, that's exactly where you're going to get. I just wanted to make it to the NBA. And I made it. And I had an average NBA career. When I got to the NBA, I should have recalibrated. It's had a new goal. You guys heard? Yeah. So look to your neighbor and say, recalibrate. That was me. Look to your other neighbor and say, recalibrate. Look to the other neighbor and just say, recalibrate, dude. Whatever got you here will not get you there. Whatever you did in 2024 will not get it done in 2025. We live in a world that's unsettled, and we have no clue what's going on in many cases. Am I right or wrong? So all you can do is trust your mindset. All you can do is trust your skill set. In closing, we have a program called the Shark Mindset. It's really a coaching program that can help you with your mindset. My wife and I have been coaching people with this methodology for a long time. And I'm going to go through this because this thing has become very powerful. But this brand right here, adopted the Shark Mindset. I found about everybody on Bookswim. And some of the franchisees, you could not work for them if you did not read the Bookswim, if you didn't understand the Shark Mindset. Because the first thing we did was help Jersey Mike's with their mindset. And Peter Kincroft called me. Said, Walter, I want you to know how big you've been to this brand. I added value to them, and they added value to me. They literally changed my life, and I changed their life. They just sold for $8 million, and they hired 2 of my kids. It was not a transaction, does that make sense? It was a relationship. We took the Shark Mindset to Dave's Hot Chicken. And I told both the brands, man, let's turn your culture into a training and development organization. Let's work on your people's mindset. Let's work on their skill set. That's what McDonald's did. Ray Kroc built Hamburger University in 1954, and no one has mimicked him. It's like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the hook shot. Nobody's mimicked the hook shots. Kareem was the second all-time leading scorer in the history of the NBA. And no one is mimicking the upshot. I told Peter K. Crow, let's mimic McDonald's and build a training and development company. Great idea. Dave's Hot Chicken, let's mimic Jersey Mike's. To build a training and development company. Great idea. Dave's Hot Chicken just sold for $1 billion. I'm telling you, if we become a training and development organization, and I'm flying through these because I don't have an opportunity for you. We have a coaching program that I want you to consider. It's based on our sharp mindset. Because when I think about the peak performance code, there is nothing better than you getting your mindset right. And for less than $500, we can support you for a whole year. We're going to teach you what we call the Sacred Six. And I'm telling you, once you understand the Sacred Six and how a shark moves, sharks are the predator of the ocean, am I right or wrong? Sharks are at the top of the food chain. Sharks are peak performers, am I right or wrong? We humanize their behavior, put it into a book, and we can teach you how to be a peak performer based on how sharks move, but most importantly, we can teach you how to develop other peak performers and teach them how to move. If you've been eating through COVID, you know how to use a QR code. Please snap a picture of this QR code. We'd love for you to join us in our movement. We're helping leaders like you develop culture and transform your organization into a training and development organization masquerading as a franchise. I'm telling you, there's C students everywhere. Literally. Because you are listening to a former C student. And just like my mama said, baby, if the teacher gives out A's, you know you can get one. I didn't get an A in that minute. I got a C. I promised my wife, I'm going to be great at something. And within 10 years, I became a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. And I can go tell them, we did it, man. Finally, I'm nation. I get emotional because I lost my dad to prostate cancer. Sometimes it's hard to talk about my high school principal and my father. But man, I want you to get your prostate checked. Women, make the appointment. Here's what we're going to do. After you make the appointment, hire a private investigator and take a picture of the doctor's hands. If the doctor had real good hands, cancel that appointment. And get your new doctor. And if that guy is not laughing, sitting next to you right now, he will soon. As soon as you make his appointment. God bless you guys.